um, replay, folks. Okay, let's see here.
Bruce and I celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary in June.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah.
All right, I can tell this group. Okay, I can tell this group is getting really chatty. They have been talking up a storm to each other. I want to welcome all of you who are watching the replay. We've been on here for an hour now in breakout groups. This is really the heart of this new Your Way workshop format, is everyone coming together and going off into little small rooms, just like you're in a coffee shop together, to chat about the questions we have posed to you. And I'm so excited to hear some of the light bulb moments and ahas and lessons learned from today's conversation. So if you're watching in the replay, I hope you'll be able to join us next time when we host a Your Way workshop. We'll have another one coming up in December. And yeah, I hope you can also glean something from the conversation we're about to have here with all of our lessons learned. So, okay, let me go back to gallery view because I want to see all your pretty faces. So my first question for you is, what did you think of the format? Did it work? Was it fun? Okay, so
I loved it. I really liked it.
loves it.
I really liked it.
I thought it was awesome. I love the small group.
Yeah,
it was really well done.
Yeah, I like
lots of nodding faces.
4 to 5 people. That was great.
I loved it.
We tried to do 3 to 5 people, and that worked well.
Yep, right amount.
Yeah.
Oh, good size.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a great way to share information.
Yes, a great way to share information. You know, we talked briefly about doing our book club on Zoom, and we actually decided not to because we want to stay all together, because there's something about the small group environment or even a chat environment that really facilitates everyone's voices coming out. So for book club, we want to all be together and sharing ideas, so we are going to keep that as a chat conversation. But because we get to have this here on Zoom, we get to have small groups and then this big group discussion, and I just think we're going to have so much fun in 2020 at Simple Scrapper. Ruth says, I love this format. I was not able to voice chat, but I was able to type and had great ladies who became my voice with others. I'll be better prepared to chat next time. Well, I'm so glad that it worked out for you. Marjan said, great idea to do breakout groups. Carolyn said, I've enjoyed talking to people that I know as well as those that I've never met. Did you like going to a new breakout group every time and meeting new people?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, I thought that was great.
Yeah, maybe sometime we'll like do a project or something and then you have to stay together. But I think the idea is to expose everyone to as many people as possible. Mm-hmm. Oh, Jessica says she loves my glasses. This is out of laziness because I need to reorder my contacts. Thank you. I have exactly 1 pair left for whatever emergency is going to come up when I can't wear glasses. All right. Pat says, love the visiting with other ladies. All right. Amy, share your new tip. Do something specific with that?
Somebody before her had said they found, or I think it was Pat, had a new tip.
Oh, okay.
She said it got a new tip, and Amy
got
said
a new tip. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Pat, what was your tip? That's a great segue.
One of the ladies was saying that when she gets her prints, she slips them into, folder, and you can see them and decide which one you want to scrap. And if she didn't do any more, that's okay. But her family got to look at them, whereas mine are filed away chronologically, in a box, and nobody ever sees them, and they haunt me because I know they're there. So
that's a good idea.
I think I'd like to put them in a book, extra album, and let them enjoy it, and maybe release the burden too of me thinking, I need to get to that,
I love that tip. That's awesome. Thank you. All right. Okay. What else did you learn tonight?
This is Honore, and we talked, I think it was the 3rd group, about the accountability partners and being accountable. And I really do think that is the silver bullet, so to speak. Yeah. And I'm just we talked a little bit about how we might, encourage that among ourselves for ourselves to come up with accountability partners and different ways to do it through My Simple Scrapper as well as on an independent basis. So,
Is there one tip from that you think you're going to try next?
with the accountability,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to knock on a few people's doors and say, "Here I am, take me in."
I love it. Yeah, no, that's what you got to do.
Be
You
my
got to
partner.
be brave.
You know, just one of the, let's see, it was Judy. Where is she?
Right here.
Yeah. And she was saying, well, share the text that you.
Okay.
Stop it.
Well, I was talking about how your weekend refresh has helped, Jennifer, that you post every Friday, and that it was through a chat last year, either book club or one of the chats, that Carol White and I started talking, and now about accountability. And now we touch base with each other every Friday or weekend just to check in to see what we've been doing during the week. So we'll make sure that the other one tries to post on that weekend refresh, and then we'll just chat privately as well about what we're doing.
I love it. I love it. I have heard so many different examples of that happening throughout our community. For those of you who aren't yet members, every Friday we have a weekend refresh post that asks you the same questions, but it's a kind of a built-in sense of accountability of, what are your victories that you're celebrating this week, and what is the next thing that you're going to do, so that you're always checking in and staying accountable to yourself, if not, the entire group. And we get to celebrate with you and encourage you and nudge you on. And, Judy, you brought up a good point here, and Honore as well, about, these types of circles here. When you're meeting other people, there's going to be somebody that you really resonate with. And that's the person's door you can knock on. It's like, hey, would you like to get together and be an accountability buddy? I know I went to a conference, almost 4.5 years ago now, and there was a woman I really resonated with, and we have been like kind of business mastermind buddies ever since, because we met and we thought to get together and connect that way. But if you don't have these conversations, you don't know who you're really gonna, jive with.
That's what I like about Facebook, because there aren't anybody where I am as far as groups, and I can't get out because I'm a caregiver and my health is bad too. I said the only reason I'm on Facebook is groups. If I didn't have friends there, I wouldn't be there.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
So I have a digital group that I belong to, and it's been great, because even though they know I'm not going to be regular, they know I'm always there, because I'll make comments here and there to let them know I'm still alive and breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook's good
when
for
I
that.
finish something, I'm like 2 weeks behind everybody else on a challenge, but that's okay. Here it is.
Yeah, no, we're definitely never behind in our group.
Yeah, 4 projects, but I'll send in one piece that has everything from the 4 projects on one board.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good for you for still going at your own
power
pace.
Of this online community. Sorry, Bree, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, good for you for going at your own pace and just keep going. I mean, there's something to be said for knowing that that's when you're going to be able to get it done, and you'll post it, and you'll have people who are going to encourage you when it's your time. That's fine,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just doing something, anything.
Yes, no, just keep, one foot in front of the other. Sometimes that momentum turns into more motivation.
Mm-hmm.
I think one thing that Monica said tonight that really resonated with me was when she talked about giving yourself permission to scrap how you want, when you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think if you listen to this week's podcast episode on Plan Your Year, that's definitely something that I've always known about myself, but I've continued to recognize that as long as I'm doing something and following my own gut, I will keep making progress. It may go in that album from 3 years ago and then this album from this year, but I'm still creating and adding to that whole, library of work.
Yeah, we talked about that in our group too, that, talking about the Stacy Julian philosophy of just scrapbooking whatever inspires you right now. I don't care if it's from 10 years ago or if it's from last week. Whatever inspires you to get that story down and done, then do it.
We talked a lot about the Project Life app. A lot of people use it. And I think I need to see if there's a newer version, because I basically use it for pulling together a collage so I can print some photos. But it's have a lot more possibilities than I am taking advantage of. So
yeah, I really think for some people that is like, that's the solution that's going to keep them scrapbooking and being more portable, mobile. Yeah, it's certainly a really great option. I'm glad we have it. I hope they continue to update it.
I hate waiting for glue to dry.
This was Project Life app. The Project Life app was actually on the Mac.
On the Mac now?
Yeah, well, I wish it was. I mean, it's on your, I have it on my phone. I have it on my iPad. I'd like it to be on my Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Nice.
I mean, if it was actually desktop software, that'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it would.
Because it is different than using Photoshop or whatever. It's the whole like the drag and drop and really not nearly to know how to do anything because it's very intuitive.
They do make drag and drop templates.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The process is much more expensive if you want to do it on the Mac. So they do make some drag and drop templates so you don't have to know Photoshop Elements. I think it'd be easier to use other products outside of it, but you wouldn't get the really inexpensive cards easily like you do through the iPad or I guess Android, right? Yeah. So there are trade-offs there. And there's Pick Stitch. There's a collage app.
Yep,
that
Pick Stitch.
I have it on my Mac and I can use it there. It doesn't have quite as many choices, but I think you can customize it a little bit. So there is a way to do it that might work for people if they wanted to do that.
I've been
Or
trying
Lightroom as well. So, and there's somewhere on the blog is a Lightroom template for a Design a Project Life page.
I've been trying to use Forever bought the Memory Manager suite from Creative Memories.
Mm-hmm.
There's I use the Photo Manager Historian quite a bit to store all my photos and to put them in to tag them all. And then there's another one called Artisan. So that's where I've been trying to learn that. And that's a digital project, and it is a lot of drag and drop, but it just there's little nuances I've had to learn. And Pixels, I think it's called Pixels to Pages, is where they do a lot of the education.
Yeah.
So I have been starting to learn that.
It sounds like
there are a lot of options
here in learning different technical skills to
I'm an old programmer.
pave the way for your future.
I'm an old programmer, so I use Corelware, Photoshop, Topaz, Affinity.
Bless you.
I think I have about 6 of my Krita is the Krita, I think it is. I just downloaded that. GIMP. I've played with all of them over the years.
Very cool.
Right now I go to Paint Shop Pro for the most part, but I still like a vector program for drawing because I still create letters. I still create the components for, which is what I did. I didn't really do scrapbooking. I designed all the things so people could.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure.
Neat.
Very cool. Lots of talents here.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, who else wants to share, a takeaway or one thing that you want to try based on what you heard today?
Well, I heard Dottie said, just we talked about how do you make time for it? How do you fit it in? And she says what she does is she has her micro kits, she calls them. So she has all her pieces to the page in one little envelope, and she just makes those up. So when she goes to a crop, she grabs a couple and she can make a couple of pages. So I do have some larger size like Ziploc baggies, and I thought, well, I could try that. I could put a 12 by 12 piece of paper in there and find some paper and some photos, and when I have a minute, I could just whip it all together. So I'm going to try that.
Awesome. Yeah, we definitely love that approach. And if you like to use sketches, you can include one of those in your baggie as well.
Love the sketches.
I'm just
Kathy
jealous.
learned about the Day One app for journaling. Dawn suggested since we have so many talents, perhaps some members might want to teach some classes. Have to enlist some folks next year.
To teach Day One.
All right. What else?
Love Day One.
I'm just loving everybody's rooms I can see behind them.
That's why mine is dark.
Dude, I'm at bed. My studio's next door.
Maybe for an organization month, we'll have studio tours.
That would be fun.
Oh,
Everyone has to share your
Clean up.
organizational tip in the background.
You can do that during Refresh when we.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That would be kind of fun.
So for those who don't know, Refresh is our seasonal member retreat. So we have an online classroom where we have 7 days of like mini activities, so something you can do in about 30 minutes. And then we have 2 to 4 of these crops here on Zoom where we're all just hanging out and creating together. This past session, we did 4 live crops because it lended well to the activities. In the past, we've mixed crops and chats. And so it just depends on what we're doing, what we're talking about, whether or not the best format is best for it.
Well, I just have to say I'm very inspired by all of y'all. I have not scrapbooked in a long time, except for, playing around here or there. And so it's so good to see a community of other people that are like-minded and that I can really get ideas from. And I'm not a member yet, but I can definitely see me joining because this has just been a great experience tonight.
Oh,
That's
thank you for saying
awesome.
that, Stephanie. I'm so glad to see you getting energized because, that's why I wanted to do this, is because I can teach out the wazoo, but it's really you guys sharing with each other that provides the inspiration and the motivation and the accountability, as we've been talking about, to jump back in and just do something.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
It's definitely money well spent.
yeah, this is the best group ever.
Caroline just says, I need to get back into joining the crops. I miss cropping with you all. Jan says, thank you. My husband is so sweet to have helped me get my dream room. He's awesome. Caroline also echoes, definitely money well spent. Well, thank you, guys. I wasn't fishing for compliments, but I definitely appreciate that. All right, we have a couple more minutes here. What is any kind of crazy light bulb moments of wow, I've never thought of that before? We've already had a couple of those things shared. Any other ones?
I've been trying to figure out how to get my family's photos, even though my daughter's moved out, her photos and my husband's photos, so I can do my monthly summaries, which I do on the Project Life app. And I just started doing that a few months ago. And I tried to do a shared folder, I was telling my group, but my husband, who's an IT guy, can't figure it out. So someone suggested, why don't you just grab your husband's phone and do an airdrop to yourself? And
There you go.
Yes, light bulb moment. Thank you. Done. Then I'm not getting
Awesome.
photos of all his technical equipment and receipts and whatever else.
That's cool.
Might make good backgrounds.
That's a really good point. We have to remember, sometimes our devices feel so personal. It is okay to take someone else's device and do what you need, in your family. I think my daughter's iPad is hers, but no, I can take her iPad, I can give her photos and do what I want with it because I paid for it.
That's
I boost photos off my sister's Facebook page and my friend's Facebook page, and I just post them that way.
And
well, I think another good point is that if you are someone that maybe doesn't know how to do something that you want to know how to do, especially a techie thing, there's going to be somebody here in the community that can ask, a family member, a friend. Don't be afraid to ask for help, saying, hey, how do I do this? Can you sit down with me and let's figure it out together? Even if neither one of you really know what you're doing, if you're sitting down together, you're Googling, you're watching some videos, you can figure out together how to get your photos from A to B or whatever it is you need to do. don't be afraid to investigate and figure it out. There's always answers.
Well, and I think the good thing to realize about that too is, right, there's always more than one way to do something. So
Yeah.
maybe you tried something in the past and it didn't work for you. Well, that's not actually the only way. And somebody else might do it differently. And maybe that would, that'll be the way that works for you. So.
Well, and even things are changing so fast that even if that way didn't work in the past, it might work now because something in the middle has changed.
Shoot, I email pictures to myself. If I've taken them on my phone,
Yep.
I email them to my desktop.
I do that all the time too. Like if somebody texts me a photo, I save it to my camera roll. If somebody wants to get me photos, I have them emailed to me and then I just save them and then they get slurped up by Lightroom on my phone.
I will say for people who use Mac, the shared iCloud album compress your photos. So I no longer use that with my family for sharing because it compresses it below a megabyte. So if I want them little, that's fine. But I find that very annoying. So now I have to come up with a new way because I thought it'd be cool. I've done some research on it. People are very annoyed. Why bother? Not sure what the reason is.
Yeah.
But I just like to warn people of that because I found out the hard way. I'm like, well, wait, why is this so, why can't I not print this as an 8x10 photo? Wait, what happened? And so it was because it was through iCloud photo sharing.
So
yeah,
there's no settings to override on that, Monica?
Yeah, no, because I Googled it. I was like, I must be doing something wrong, right? This makes no sense whatsoever. And everything I found says, yeah, that's how Apple has it set up. I think because they're designing it just to show the photos to other people.
Share, yeah.
Although I pay for extra storage, it should be like anything else. If I want to put a lot of full-size things in there, it costs
be able to,
me, or I have to,
Yeah. You could use.
So I just like to warn people about that.
I think that's why I like Dropbox.
Yeah, I use AirDrop a lot, but my kids are in different states now, so it would be nice. I actually will also use Google Photos, so I do a lot of Google Photos.
Well, and I think that's it's just important to understand whatever it is that you're using, you need to understand how it works and if it's doing anything to your photos. There are some things, as you mentioned, that will compress them. There's also can be some issues with metadata. Say if you have tags, sometimes when you upload them to a certain place and re-download them somewhere else, those tags can be stripped. So based on what your interests and needs are, it's important to understand what you're doing. And if you're not sure, to do some research and work on figuring it out. It's always best to be better safe than sorry, or just to be careful and cautious, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, I have the advantage. I have the programs. I have Gigapixel, which is an AI program for enlarging.
Nice.
And then I have part of that's a Topaz package. So I also have the one that goes JPEG to RAW. Then I take it from there to Gigapixel, and then I take it there to denoise and sharpen and whatever else down the program ladder.
I'm gonna have you edit all my photos from now on.
She needs to edit all of our photos from now on.
Well, I'm branded by my name online. If anybody wants to find me. Oh, my last name's not up there. It's Young. It's easy.
All right, friends. Okay, any final thoughts here?
This was fun.
Yes, this was fun. Thank you.
When's
the next one?
Facilitating this. Yeah, when's the next
I don't know
one?
the date of the next one yet, but I will announce it very soon. Still working to finish up all the fun things we're doing in November. Yes, if you haven't checked out the planning party yet, go to simplescrapper.com/plan where you can see all the other fun things we're doing. 12 days of planning. We're going to have our big reveal of our 2020 kind of membership schematic for next year on the 12th. And then we have a brand new members only class, Hybrid Made Easy, on the 15th. So yeah, lots of good stuff. And then of course, lots more to come in December as well. So I want to thank all of you for kind of being my bulk guinea pigs here tonight. The first time doing this in a large group. I appreciate all your patience, and I feel like it worked out, and I can't wait to do it again with you.
Yes.
And for all of you watching on the replay, I hope you join us live next time. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, yay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Night. See you next time.
Bye, Honore.
Bye.
Bye.